DNVR Bets Daily. It's RK and Professor Dre. Oh, man, and it is a joyous day on this side of things, Dre. Whoa, look at that. My name is on fire. Can you believe that? I mean, wow. Who knew if you just start winning enough of these bets, your name just catches on fire? The software on here just picks that up on its own.
Were you purposely doing rhymes as we came into the show too? Are we not going to acknowledge that? Or that you look like a light-skinned Mr. T right now? There's so much to address. You really are, though, like a couple feathers and earrings away from making the full Mr. T transition.
I could have like a headband here. How does that help? Does that help the look?
Is that a iPhone cord?
That's exactly what it is.
That looks like a halo, which might be even more appropriate because to our fellow bettors, you really are a bit of a saint right now in this moment. You know, when these things happen in the just floating above. When these things happen in the betting world,
it's true.
Right. You got to follow that heater while you can.
These things are just falling out of the sky all of a sudden wherever I'm sitting. It's crazy. I have no idea what causes it or what. All I know is that your boy is officially on a heater. We've got a heater alert. Go ahead and cue it up because, yeah, there it is. Uh-oh.
Our first heater alert. Beautiful.
Uh-oh. Oh, man. 9-3 over my last 12. 6-2 over my last 8 on the KBO.
Yep.
You know, do you ever feel like you are controlling the outcomes?
Yeah, there are those few times where it does feel that way, but it's it's a flailing feeling, certainly.
You know what? I think this one might never end. That's what I say every time.
That feeling I have had many times before. Believe it or not, it always ends badly. But yes, that feeling I do know what you mean there, and I must warn you, it doesn't always last. But yeah, you've just got this KBO down, and our guy Curtis Blades help you out like never before, and you are on a heater, a great heater for this early season nonsense that we've been talking about.
I love it. Just keep playing that graphic. I mean, that graphic, we better we better, just get as much use out of that as we can while the boys are still hot. All right. But we had some good stuff tonight on the UFC card. Unfortunately, one of your picks got canceled, but we still had 3 of your picks. And man, you took a tough L in that last fight. I really thought you were going to come out with a 2-1 advantage there. And whoa, I'm blanking on his name right now. But
Glover Teixeira.
Old man Teixeira.
Old man Teixeira, yeah.
Just absolutely turned it on. I mean, you saw you saw Smith come out so aggressive, and I was in a group chat and people were saying like, this fight's not fair, like why they let this old man out here, he's gonna get killed. And Teixeira just sat there and let him wear himself out, and then just pounced. And all it took was a few good shots to really stumble Smith, and he was in big trouble. And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe he lasted all the way to the 5th round. I mean, probably shouldn't have. If the people in his corner, maybe they were getting hit in the head too. We just didn't see it.
Know. Yeah.
But he went out there, and it was just like, what's going to happen? What could possibly happen here? Like, he's just stumbling around. Yes, could he survive maybe for the rest of this round, just in the fetal position like he has the last 2? Maybe, right. But he's still losing this fight, so get him out of there.
Yeah, that was insane because they both set a really high pace early on, and then Teixeira, as you said, nailed a few, got on top of him, and I mean, like the ultimate example of dad strength right there with old man Teixeira. It's insane what he did to Anthony Smith, and both guys, obviously very well credentialed, but that was an amazing fight. I can't even be mad that the KO, TKO, or DQ victory from Smith didn't come through at the +100. And I do have my theory of always take the underdog in heavyweight fights. This was a light heavyweight. You know, those guys were big enough where maybe I should have gone with my underdog theory there.
That and the good folks over at DraftKings had an incredible play for those who were in on this card tonight. Essentially, any bet you lost in the main event, or in the main card, I should say, any bet you lost in the main card, you had 3 chances there. They would give you your losses as long as it was a money line bet. So picking one of the winners, they'll give you your losses back as a free play later. So essentially, it's like a mulligan.
Yep.
You lost, and I lost on the first fight there, and we were both on that one. And great fight.
Yeah.
And that just went right back into my account as a free play what I lost. So again, just a mulligan there. But the second fight, that's the one that you won on. And wow. How about Big Ben?
Big Ben Rothwell. And that's where my theory really of the meanest looking dude maybe being the way to go. The guy whose highlights scare you the most with the most knockout power and what have you is the best way to go. And even good old Big Ben, by the third round, he was looking a little wobbly. It was rough, and that was a split decision. So really, I can't complain even for getting that win. But that was a fun one in a heavyweight fight. He was the true heavyweight and kind of put it on OSVP, who's a former Tennessee Vol, by the way, played football there. So quite an athlete, but Ben Rothwell, who, a bit of a sloppy body, really put it on him. And I thought dominated the fight for the most part, controlled the middle of the octagon and deserved that win.
Yeah, he just Jokic'd him, dude. He just lulled him to sleep, leaned on him a little bit, wore him out, was able to take the hits, and then just had a couple flashes, just like Yoke. Like, he'll make it look smooth and easy, and then all of a sudden he does something crazy, and you're not able to keep up with it. That was kind of how our boy Big Ben Rothwell did there. So great win for him. I have to say, I learned a new hit. I got a new hit of crack tonight. A new hit of sports crack tonight. When you are on a better, it goes to split decision. Are you kidding me? The amount of suspense as they're getting ready to announce the third judge. Wow, what a rush that was. It definitely wouldn't have been as cool if they didn't pick our guy. But oh my God, I was like just waiting with bated breath, and your emotions, you're like, he's got it won. He's got it won. Then you don't hear the unanimous decision. Doubt creeps in. He gets the first one, you're like, all right, we got this. Second one goes the other way, and that's when you're just like, oh dear Lord. Your mind goes all directions, and then there you go. The winner by split decision, Ben Rothwell.
My heart for sure skipped a beat there as before he said Ben, and then just what a sigh of relief there. Because in the end, we were left with just 3 upset picks for me because my one favorite, the opponent fell ill, not COVID related, but fell ill, and that was canceled. So then we were left with my final upset in Alexander Hernandez, who had the age advantage, he had the length advantage, he had the wrestling advantage. Early on, it played that way, but the local product, Drew Dober, really turned me into a believer with that fight. Shorter, stocky guy, and being that stocky guy, it's like those little running backs, Darren Sproles and what have you. It's so hard to tackle them, and that's where Hernandez, despite the length and wrestling advantage, couldn't take down this, fire hydrant of a man. And then slowly but surely that, and this is something Curtis Blades told us about. When you're training at altitude, which is what Dober does with elevation, and you're in Jacksonville, that cardio really showed up as an advantage for Dober. He started to get inside and closer, kind of fighting in a phone booth with Hernandez, and he hurt him. That was another incredible fight where Hernandez is like diving on him and trying to extend it, even though he was hurt. And just gorgeous fight. Dober definitely turned me into a believer with that one. Won't be picking against him.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, he was a freak. I mean, I thought Hernandez was coming in there with some spice. I liked what he was bringing to the fight early, and Dober took it on the chin, didn't flinch. So we end up with a 1-2 card there from Professor Dre. but you got plus money on a big plus money on Rothwell. You're plus 135 there. So if you won that fight, then you're probably not feeling too bad about 1 and 2.
Yeah, and it's nice with those protections, like I doubled down with the money line on Anthony Smith, but then it get hurt by that because of our good friends from DraftKings. From a betting perspective, interesting, you noticed before the Dober fight that his odds had gone up just slightly, or he'd become more of a favorite. And I told you, well, let's hope it's just because he's got the local kid advantage. I don't know. In other states like New Jersey and what have you, I don't think he was getting the local. I think that's probably some wise guy money coming in there on Dober and telling us something. And my bet on Anthony Smith winning on a TKO, KO, or DQ, that ended up not being available around about halfway through the main card. So I was starting to feel good about that bet, though. Of course, old man Teixeira in the end hurt us all, destroyed our dreams.
Old man Tex. You just can't get away from. Honestly, it was awesome. Like watching him
unreal
turn the tables was so cool because he really did. I texted you seconds into the match, like I don't think this is gonna last.
Yep.
Because he didn't look strong enough to fight off those jabs. It was, man, I really thought that was going down quick. But there you go. That's why they play. That's why they play the match. That's why they play the games. I don't think that works here. That's why they fight the fights.
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, he had a game plan. He said, "I'm gonna let you tire yourself out. I'm built like a tank. I can take some punches." And then he picked his spots and came in. I don't know if you want to share. You doubled up on your Rothwell winnings with another bet on that fight ending in round 3. And honestly, I think the ref should have had it.
Yeah, it should have happened. I took my Rothwell winnings and I took like a small piece of that and was just like, well, might as well take a shot on something here because I couldn't get in on your bet like you mentioned.
Right.
They took it off the card. I'm like, all right, well, I want some action here, so I just took a little sprinkling on the third round knockout either side. And that would have paid off big. And I mean, as soon as he went to the ground, I was like, here it is here. No.
I mean, you should, because as you said, it was an incredible fight. And really, I would say with the caveat, the first 3 rounds, incredible. The last 2, a bit brutal at times, especially if you had money on Smith, where it was like, please don't put me through this much longer. Now there, the advantage of training at altitude didn't matter for Smith. Maybe it's driving back to Nebraska on the weekends is hurting those lungs. I don't know. Is that an interesting theory to you?
Well, here was his biggest problem. He didn't have them announce fighting out of Denver, Colorado. He had them announce fighting out of Omaha, Nebraska. And we know, especially in recent times, Colorado, Nebraska, you got to go Colorado. So that was his big mistake because Gagey, what's the other guy's name? Dober. Yep. So the last 2 guys out of Colorado getting dubs. That was his big problem there.
Yeah, maybe it's just elevation, Jim, too. Yeah.
We'll talk about this more on Friday. But do you have any initial thoughts on Saturday's card?
I need to see what the odds are for the under 1.5 on the main event. Because Harris, Overeem, those are 2 just KO artists. And I also like Harris in this one, who, again, I need to see the odds, but I think he should be the underdog in the main card. And then I really like Edson Barbosa is everyone's favorite fighter. He's this Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy who has the most incredible kicks you'll ever see, some of the most explosive hips you'll see on any athlete. And the hips are kind of where all sports start and end to me. But now he's going down from 155 to 145. So it'll be really interesting to see him in this new division at a new weight. So I'm excited about that. And we've got some great female fighters on this night as well. So yeah, that's the initial thoughts, but we won't spoil anything.
Yeah, and I won't make you go on record until Friday there. And
thank you.
Speaking of going on record, I believe we have the updated records here that we can go to before we get to our KBO picks. Your boy sitting at 13-7. Andre, much more liberal with his bets, 17-17. That's okay though. That's okay. And maybe we can reset or something hear me out here. We can reset or something, or just recount when sports really come back and actually count units, because you've had wins on underdogs that should be giving you a little bit of a boost here. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So we should count the record and the units.
I like that.
Hey, I'm just trying to look out for my guy here.
Hey, I appreciate it. And I am addicted to the value, I'm value hunting all the time. That's kind of my thing as the math magician. So I really appreciate you pointing that out for me.
I love that I've gotten you to call you the nickname yourself, the nickname that I came up with.
When it comes in handy.
I can't keep track of these KBO days anymore. Was last night the one that I told you about the walk-off home run?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome moment last night in the Doosan Lotte Giants game. Your Lotte Giants.
Yes, my Lotte Giants.
They went to extra innings, and a guy who was on Doosan last year but now is on Lotte walked him off.
Incredible.
Of course, it was 10-9 because it's the KB over. And that leads me to my two picks, which were the over in that game, which almost doubled up. And then I had the over on my Twins scoring more than 4.5, and they scored 14.
Nicely done. Very nicely done.
They almost quadrupled that one. Or I guess they almost tripled that one.
I mean, the KBO has become the Big 12 football equivalent of a baseball league right now. They cannot set these overs high enough. And I went after the overs as well. And, easy money on Twins Wyverns. That was 14-2. That was 10.5, I believe. Dinos, KT Wiz, 5-4. As you pointed out, that fifth run, the ninth run, and the over there was set at 9.5. Didn't come until a walk-off. There was another walk-off hit, and that was a little single up the middle. But still, just barely missed the over. And then, as you said, Dinos Bears 10-9, easy hit on the over. So the runs are just aplenty. These bullpens, we now feel bad for the bullpens, similar to how we feel about some of these fighters that we bet on and saw get KO'd. It's brutal, and there's no end in sight unless you call up the kids, I guess. But I don't. These kids aren't ready for the thunder that these KBO lineups are bringing on a night-to-night basis.
Yeah, if you look around the league, some of the averages are insane. We've got almost 10 guys hitting over 400, maybe more. Shout out to mykbostats.com for keeping the scores up there for us and keeping track of things. My guy Ramos, 7-game hit streak to start the season. He's hitting 440 or something along those lines. So I mean, guys are just raking. The guy who's leading the league in average is hitting 527. I mean, you're right. These starters are going out there trying to give a couple quality innings, usually getting raked out of the game, and then these poor, beaten and battered bullpen arms are coming in just like, okay, well, we got to get the squad through 5 innings here, so let's get this started as fast as possible.
Yeah, there's no end in sight. So, I mean, should we do our picks right here and now? What a perfect leadoff.
Let's do it. Why don't you go ahead first?
Yeah, because I'm staying fairly boring. I'm taking the overs on those 3 games, those 6 teams that we know so well. Because we should mention, while it's the KB overs to us, and that was another 2-1 night for me, in general, it was a 2-3 night for the KBO in hitting the overs. But, we know these 6 teams so well. We're so locked into these 3 series that it feels like they're easy money every time. So Wyverns, Twins, KT Wiz, Dinos, both of those over set at 10. And then Bears, Giants, 10.5. But again, as I said yesterday, they could set that at 21, and I would still take the over.
All right. I like those picks. And here we go. Trying to keep the heater alive. I start with my Twins, and I'm having a little bit of trouble loading it here, so bear with me. Okay. My Twins, we're taking the team total over 5.5. I'm on the same page as you. I just really don't trust those Wyverns. They're wild cards or Y cards, if you will. In the other game here, gosh dang, I can't load anything. Really, really struggling with the connection over here, Andre.
Oh God,
it's been a tough night.
What game are you thinking about?
Well, okay, so I want the team totals. I want the team total on the Twins. I want the team total on the Dinos. I want the team total on the Giants, and I want the team total on the Bears. So I believe it's 5.5 on.
Oh shoot, my app just.
We're struggling. So let me I'm pretty sure here.
How many bets are you taking here?
4 bets.
Oh wow, I love this. Okay.
4 bets. I'm heat checking.
Yeah, truly.
I believe it's. Let's see if I can get this right. It was 5.5 on the Twins, 5.5 on the Giants. No, sorry, 5.5 on the Bears, 4.5 on the Giants, and I don't remember what the Dinos were. Here we go. I finally got it in front of me. Dinos over 5.5 as well.
Beautiful.
So you got Dinos over 5.5.
Okay.
Doosan over 5.5.
Okay.
Lotte over 4.5.
Okay.
And Twins over 5.5.
What are those bad boys paying right now?
Yeah, let me take you through that.
Just a sampler. You don't need to give me every single one. Just curious.
So team total for the Twins over 5.5 is an even -110.
Oh wow.
Doosan and Lotte, these will be the last two I'll give you here. Doosan over 5.5 is -129. And then Lotte over 4.5 is -117. And
I don't mind that at all.
Yeah, I don't either. Now, obviously, you might be asking, why don't you just take the over 10.5 in that game? Because these two totals here add up to 10 anyway.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a protection just in case one of these teams goes cold.
Right.
And also a chance to double up if they do go ahead and cover it.
I like that, but you're right. It is the safer aspect of it is the most intriguing, especially with the heater you're on and going out there on 4 bets, having a little protection like that. Always nice.
Exactly. You got to diversify the portfolio.
Absolutely.
As they say.
Absolutely.
So, those are my picks. Ride with me, if you will. I mean, you should have been doing it for a while now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
But you know what? You might as well catch the train while it's still here.
Yep.
All right.
Choo-choo.
So it's all overs again. A full over slate on the KB over.
Yes.
The KB over for us again tonight. And we will not be watching because it'll be at 3:30 a.m. I have to say, last thing I'll say here. Never before have it been so easy to wake up in the morning. My alarm goes off. I pull the phone out. And my heart starts racing as I type in KBO scores into Google. And man, just when you open it up and you hit the scroll, it really gets the blood pumping, and then you're up and you're ready to go for the day.
It's true. It is kind of beautiful to start your day like that. Often, if I wake up a little early and just go to the bathroom, it's hard not to, then look at that, and then the excitement gets you too woken up, and that's a whole thing. But yes, it's a beautiful thing.
That is, I have actually had to avoid it. Even the thought of it starts to get my blood flowing a little bit. Just like,
it's true.
Do I want to see how many runs the Twins have on the board? Like, I'm gonna try and hold it off and go back to sleep here. Oh man, this has been fun. This has been fun. I'm learning new sport. Obviously, the KBO. I don't know why I keep wanting to call it the KTO. The KBO has been really entertaining baseball. And then this is my, entrance into the world of UFC. And my goodness, has it been an exciting beginning of that. So that's the card tonight. Make sure you ride with us if you want to make some money, hopefully. And of course, we want to give a big shout out to DraftKings Sportsbook for presenting this show. They've done such an awesome job of working with us on all of this and really just being an amazing partner. As we've gone through and we'll probably go through again tomorrow is, of course, our our DNVR specials on the DraftKings Sportsbook. So it's really, really fun to be working with them, and we really appreciate everything that they're doing over there.
Yeah, well said. They've been amazing. We're having so much fun with the app. Some of these specials they have, I've been feeling like I'm not even doing a betting app. It's like my money saving app, like it's like I'm doing coupons, but I'm just doing that on sports betting because, like some of these bets, they're just too smart to pass up.
They really, really are. So anyways, big shout out to DraftKings and thank you to them. And that is going to wrap it up for us tonight. We thank you guys and we will talk to you tomorrow on DNVR Bets Daily.